Hey, what's going on, beautiful people? Spiritual Bodybuilder here. And today I'm going to be talking about the Jupiter, Pluto, and Saturn retrograde season. I put all these together to look at the overall, more fundamental aspects of the energies and to understand really what's going to be happening from now until about October and everything in between. All right, this is a major time in our life of shifting, going through some seriously deep portals and transforming and transmuting our energies into our highest version of ourselves, right? So with Jupiter going retrograde April 10th, here just in a few days, um, it's going to be, I believe it's going to be a bit of a relief. But what's really fascinating to me is that it's at 24 degrees, and that's 3 degrees away from the galactic center. Now, the galactic center is the center of our galaxy. It's the 0 point of humanity. It's who we are at our deepest core level. And Jupiter being in its home sign, right? We're getting real close to seeing, feeling, touching, experiencing the deepest part of ourselves. We're growing into the full holistic version of who we really are, right? But there's still some more work. There's things that need to be let go of. There's things that need to integrate for the last 3 months or so. Well, more like for the last 6 months, Jupiter has just been hammering us with energy, infusing us with new downloads about our belief systems, about who we really want to be, like diving deeper into spirituality or religion or whatever esoteric atmosphere that you believe in or belong to, right? So with this going retrograde, and then later on in the month, we have Pluto going retrograde on April 24th and Saturn going retrograde on April 29th. Now, the interesting thing with that is Pluto retrograde on the 24th, all three of these planets right now are at a basic standstill. And what's interesting is that so the outer planets have to do with like the deeper aspects of who we are at our soul level, our higher self, right? And the personal planets, Venus, Mercury, Sun, the Moon, they all more have to do with our conscious reality and our intellectual consciousness, all the stuff that's on the surface, right? The Jupiter, Pluto, Saturn energies are more subconscious. And when they go retrograde, we're going over and re-looking at a lot of the things that we've sort of come into and processed in this last portion of life. I'd say like the last 6 to 9 months. Okay, so when Pluto goes retrograde, the Sun will be conjunct Uranus. Wow! So the Sun being conjunct Uranus for its first time while Uranus is in Taurus, that is going to illuminate some massive, massive stuff when it comes to self-worth. It's going to be excellent and probably a lot of unexpected opportunities coming in, or even relationships coming together in a really, really powerful way. Having a deep desire all of a sudden to help humanity or to step in your power in whatever way that stepping in your power means for you. Right? Because Pluto is all about death and rebirth. It's the dissolving of the foundation, of the deepest part of the foundation in our consciousness. And it's starting its retrograde at 23 degrees of Capricorn. Now, that's a major, major degree. We haven't seen that in our lifetime, right? Last time it was at around this degree, it was right around 1776 when the United States became a nation, a country. Right, so we're actually getting ready to go into the United States Pluto return, and what that means is that all the fundamentals, the belief systems, like the basic political structure that was created and upheld, and also the beginning of the Industrial Revolution. All right, all these things that came into play, that came into function in our generation, is being looked at again. You can see it in the political field and all over the world. Things are getting really dramatic and really crazy, and I don't think it's any coincidence that our next presidential election is next year in 2020 with the Pluto, Saturn, and Jupiter loosely conjunction. Right, this is really going to start to take take the world in a whole new direction. It's really, really exciting times. And it's also really difficult times. Okay, so I believe that these 3 planets going retrograde is going to actually be kind of a break. We've had all this growth. We've had all these issues and all this karmic stuff clearing and coming up. It's been tough, man. You know, it's been really, really deep, and it's been really difficult. So this is going to kind of take a step back. So we've learned and we've gained all the downloads and information that we're going to receive. All right. So now we have to process it all. It's all come into our atmosphere, especially if you've been doing the work. You've been going through a lot of change, a lot of upgrades, a lot of downloads, a lot of purging, a lot of people going into their dark night of the soul and really processing a lot of these deeper energies in a massively deep way. We're excavating the very corners of our consciousness. And so be ready to get a lot of things coming up in your dreams, having these all of a sudden impulsive desires to go help humanity or to really change your life in some kind of major way, right? So while these are going into retrograde, moving into the deeper part of it, about halfway through, we're going to have a solar and lunar eclipse. And solar eclipse will be in Cancer on July 2nd. The lunar eclipse will be in Capricorn on July 16th. So up until this point, right, we had the first eclipse in Capricorn on January 5th, and that was the beginning. We just hit the middle point with the Aries new moon just last week. Okay, so now we're at this middle point, like, all right, ready to step into our power, ready to go, ready to take that next step, but we don't know where we're going, right? It's still, we're taking a step into the unknown, into the mist. We're like on a tightrope without a circus net. We can be a nervous wreck. You like the Eminem reference? Anyways, so with the solar eclipse, we're going to have all the personal planets in Cancer. Venus, Mercury, the Sun, and the Moon. Okay? That's all opposing Saturn, the South Node, and Pluto. Ooh, so the North Node with this is a serious like pulling. We're going to have this tug of war going on between stepping into our new life and really letting go at a final level of the old stuff. Of course, we all have free will and choice and decisions to make that we want, but that's going to be a major point from letting go to stepping forward, right? So because we've been letting go, we've been doing all this letting go for a long time now. All right. I mean, there's been multiple cycles and it's been really building up. And this is all preparation for next year, for January 2020. All right. That's when things are really going to start to take off. So this time we're in the middle of it, and those eclipses in July are really going to shift from the primary source of energy of letting go and infusing us to cross over that threshold into now fully stepping forward. Okay. And the Capricorn lunar eclipse on July 16th, that's going to bring it back to sort of, you know, I feel like almost putting the finishing touches on letting all this stuff go, right? We're still going through it, don't get me wrong. And the Pluto and Saturn conjunction is still very tight with the South Node there. So we're still going to be processing all this energy, but this next few months is going to be a major, huge leap and step into our destiny. All right, this is a major karmic time. We are all here, especially if you're watching this video, we are all here for a reason. We are light workers. We are the light warriors. We are bringing this new earth into reality. And we need to all get together to help each other out, to join each other with all these new philosophies on healthcare, you know, functional medicine, all these old ideologies of how the medical system works. It's so corrupt and it's so broken. It's ridiculous, right? And bringing in, you know, all these healers. You know, if you're watching this, you're probably some type of healer. Okay, like we're stepping in and embodying. Finally, we've done all this intellectual work up until now, but now it's like the universe saying, okay, it's time for you to embody this. It's time for you to step forward. It's time for you to live your truth and be in your power. And it's scary as fuck. But once we do take that leap, and if you're watching this, you're probably going to be taking that leap here in the next few months. All right, we're going to drive into it, and we're going to start connecting, and more people are going to start coming together. Groups and communities are going to be built, right? We're going back to the deeper spiritual truths that we used to live by hundreds of years ago that have been suppressed by our society and by the belief systems that have been instilled upon us, right? So then also in the middle of all this stuff as well, June 22nd, Neptune will go retrograde as well. Now, Neptune, that's another good one, all right? Meaning that it's sort of like, you know, it takes off the rose-colored glasses and it allows us to sort of see through everybody's bullshit, all right? I call bullshit, like Sun Soul Astrology says. And so we're gonna, once we hit right around June, July area, that's when we're gonna start to be seeing, okay, this person's manipulative. Okay, this person's toxic in my life. Okay, I need to get rid of, we're gonna start really kicking everything out. And that's really us stepping into our power, right? Loving ourselves, living from our heart center, and not focusing so much on intellectual thought, but letting our feelings shine and letting ourselves be known who we really are to the world, but also to ourselves, okay? And of course, these energies can sort of depend on your chart, but I want to encourage you guys to really focus on self-care, focus on, you know, like if your body is your subconscious mind. So if your body is telling you, giving you signs and symptoms that something's not right or something's off, you need to take a step back and do something else that is loving and kind to yourself so that you can be at your best for all this processing. There's going to be a shitload of downloads of processing and culminating of energies coming through. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you're interested in having a reading by me, please go to trinityfitnessastrology.com. Peace.